If there's something if there's one thing I truly hate is restaurants that have no idea what they're doing when it comes to vegans. Your job is food. Your job is food. You know about dietary restrictions of all sorts, may that be for allergies, preference, all of that. That's why you have a menu for preferences. People who don't want to eat fish or don't like seafood, they have other options. For people who don't want to eat chicken or poultry, you got other options. For people who are vegetarian, you got options. For people who are vegan, you got options. If you don't have options, that's a whole other story. But if you do have options, or if you say you have options, I'm talking to you. Why is it that I'm scrolling down? This happens more often than I wish. I'm scrolling down at this restaurant's menu. At the bottom, there's a key, right? Where they say V means vegetarian, VG means vegan, GF gluten-free, GF gluten-free upon request. Or sorry, GF and then GF. That's all. Okay. All right. Then it has the undercooked meat warning. It has the undercooked shellfish, eggs, etc. They have the allergen warning and all of that stuff. And then they have like a gratuity warning and stuff like that, right? So that's that section of the menu. You have a key telling me look for VG to find vegan items. Cool. So I scroll back up and I'm looking for VG. There is one item that is labeled vegan on the entire menu. That's a small plate, which means appetizer, which means it's not a full meal. Okay. And that is Indo-style corn. I don't know what that means. Whatever. It's a corn fritter. It's a corn fritter. So now I already have questions. A fritter. What's in the batter? What's in the batter? You're telling me it's vegan, but I have to ask. And you haven't put in what's in there, right? So we have okra crispy fritters, along with the corn fritters. I mean, you know, how they're describing the dish, that's a whole other story. That's totally fine. But see, I'm trying to calculate what the heck actually is in there because I already don't trust you. You put in the label, oh, there's vegan items, VG. I'm looking up this, there's only one thing. And you haven't listed all of the items or all of the, you've described the dish, but you haven't told me everything that's in it. The last thing that's on that section describing the dish says orange herb honey. Honey. So either you don't understand what vegan means, or you have a partial understanding what vegan means, or what. I don't know. I don't understand. So now I'm calling into question what else is all in there. There are certain types of vegans that say, can I have this without honey? I'm not that person because I'm just not going to order that. I'm not going to order that because I don't want to have a whole conversation about, oh, can you da 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 da. I could just eat at home. What am I going to do that to you for? I'm going to eat at home. And there's no trust here now. There's no trust here now. So even if I ask you to not put X, Y, and Z in it, how do I know it's not in there? And I know it's not that serious, but it's also not that serious for me to eat there or not, because there's other places that I could go. I'm not going to have a whole back and forth, a whole discussion. Now you have bad blood or bad feelings about it, and it's like a strained situation for what? My point here is that if you have a restaurant that purportedly has vegan items, or you're trying to attract vegan people or let them know, signal to them that yes, you can eat here, make sure that you're doing that, right? You had the presence of mind to say gluten-free and then a separate thing that says gluten-free upon request. You also have a thing about allergens. Allergens are present in this kitchen, so we can't guarantee that certain dishes are 100% allergen free. Wonderful. So you understand that there is cross-contamination in this and that. So you should also understand to let people know that for all the different preferences that they have. You should also know that you probably should list what is in certain things. And finally, you should know that if you're saying something is permissible for a certain dietary restriction or certain dietary pattern, you should know what that is. I see so many like vegetarian options here, and that's wonderful and that's great, but there's one item that you're claiming is vegan when it's not. What is that? You know who else I'm looking at? I'm looking at all you restaurants that have an Impossible Burger. Okay, you have an Impossible or Beyond Burger. You got the Vegenaise. You got the Violife cheese. You got the Just Egg. Okay, you have the coconut bacon or whatever thing you're using on a brioche bun. Can't sub the bread. What are we doing? What are we doing? Miss me with all of that. I'm gonna eat at home. It's fine, whatever. The other thing that I didn't mention what's going on now is you can't even get fries at some of these places. I went to a place once where it was a brand new place. They were testing out different menus and different items and things like that. They were building up their menu. They had a vegan option for a sandwich, but it was on brioche bun. I asked if I can switch to this other bread. They had another dish on another bread. So I was like, can I have that bread? I know it's back there, right? I'm not asking you for something you don't have. Like, hey, can I just have this on the other bread because brioche? She was like, no, we can't do that. I was like, I'll have the fries then, right? So at least I know, vegan starter pack, fries are available, right? I went back to that restaurant knowing that they had been testing their menu, that they were trying things, adding things, subtracting things, whatever. Now they're like an established place, right? They've kind of learned their clientele and stuff like that. So I went back, I was stood outside looking at the new menu that they have. And I was like, okay. I was looking item by item. I was like, oh, it doesn't even seem like they have the vegan item now. And some things that should have been vegan are like not even vegan. So I was like, well, damn. Well, okay, at least I know I could get fries. The fries are now battered fries. You can't even have fries. I looked at the entire menu. The only things that are vegan are the drinks. And even that, they had a couple of cocktail items with egg whites and this and that. I'm like, well, golly, you can't have anything that is just like, I can't eat. I literally can't eat here. It's a neighborhood bar. It's a dope spot. It's a nice interior, although they have some like weird animal stuff going on. Like just, what do you call those? Taxidermy stuff is a little weird, and like fur mats on the ground and stuff. That's not my aesthetic by any means, but whatever. It's a neighborhood spot. We don't have a lot of kind of like watering holes and stuff like that in this immediate area that's that close. So I was like, that I would love for that to be my new spot. It's not gonna be, because I can't eat there. The decor is a little bit like, it's homey, it's cozy, but it's a little like, if I look that way and I see like a deer just looking at me, I'm like, all right. Like, why are we hanging bodies? Why are we hanging bodies on the wall? Anyway, all this is to say, restaurants, if you don't have a vegan menu on your item, or don't have a vegan item on your menu, I'm not even looking at you, so I'm not talking to you. If you do have vegan items on your menu, can you please just make sure that actual vegans can have those things? I don't think that's too much to ask. I really don't. I know that you're probably geared more towards flexitarians who have no issue with things like a brioche bun and this like that. But for certain things, especially dairy, you should definitely have a non-dairy item for people, because that's an allergen and that's an intolerance that people have, way more than the small population of vegans, right? So that's going to help you regardless. But even if putting those populations aside, if you're saying an item is vegan, make sure that vegans can actually eat it. I don't think that's too much to ask. I don't think that's far-fetched. And I don't think that I even should have to be on here telling you that. That's your job. That is a disgrace. Not to get too extreme about it, but I think that's a little like weird and disgraceful that you're putting item on that is targeting a certain population, and that population can't have that without a conversation, without a discussion, without a negotiation. I'm here to give you money. Help me do that. Help me help you. What's going on? Just get some toast. Like, damn. Just get some toast. You know, not avocado toast, but just like bread. Like, get bread that is regular bread. You go out of your way to get brioche. That's what that and like milk bread are like the two breads that not everyone can eat. How do you go out of your way to jump to brioche instead of just getting like a baguette or something? Like, damn.